Hello again, I'm Michael Garner, and today I'm doing a review of basically the whole season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, the recent one, just ended. I wanted to do a video on each, one of the episodes, but it's a little bit too hard to do every single episode, and I learned that with Supergirl. I have to do them in blocks, so I did like a block of like 5 or 6 you can see here on YouTube as well. And I'll be doing a whole block as soon as the season final premieres this following Monday. So today I'm just reviewing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And first of all, I just want to say that great season. And I was really surprised at this season. They did a really good job of mixing 3 separate stories and making them work, and correlating, getting them to all work together, which would be the Ghost Rider, which was the first one, the LMD with androids, and the Agents of Hydra, which is still part of the LMD, but it's part of a framework, kind of like a quasi-matrix world that people, that's the only, I don't want to say it that way, but people seem to be referring to it that way. But virtual reality, where people are stuck in. First of all, I was not a fan of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought the acting was fine, but I thought that the first season just kind of sucked. I hated it. And I was like, they should not have the show on. I mean, like, they had a pretty good idea, and then they wound up doing nothing with it. It just felt like the whole first season led to nothing. And everything, none of the stakes were there and everything. Even when Ward defected and he became the villain, spoiler alert, I thought it was forced. I just couldn't stand it. Then the second season came around and I went, whoa! And from the second season on, all the way up to this 4th season now, I've been a big fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, just as much as like watching Supergirl, The Flash, and everything like that, I always look forward each week to seeing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was one of my top comic book shows. Not too many comic book shows out there, maybe 20 in total, but still, you know, it was on the top of the list. First of all, just a brief explanation of the story of the season. We have the Darkhold that was introduced, which is a evil type magical book, and it can take you to it can give you certain ideas, and it's kind of weird to explain the Darkhold, and I'll get into that later. But magical book, Ghost Rider's involved in it. Ghost Rider needs to get that book and needs to get it off our planet, and that involves well, we'll go right into it. My top actors of this season, because I wanted to pick a few actors, because everybody's really good this season, but there are a few people and characters that just like stood out a lot, and just made you really care for them. And one of them was Gabriel Luna, who plays Ghost Rider. His head flared up. The special effects are amazing on it. They did a really good job of it. Like his movements, his action scenes, they really thought this out, like how they're gonna make him look different from the Ghost Rider that we had seen in the movies. And I just think that him, out of everybody in the season, he was my #1 guy. Like, you just want to see him on TV so much. And the next one would be Aida, the villain of the series. Well, she started off as just being the android, the little cute android. I was like, oh no, this can't be Ultron, can it? And they made jokes about that. We can't have this, you know, why are you making an android? We already just had Age of Ultron. Even though they're not supposed to refer to anything in the movies and everything like that, that's kind of what they did. But Aida turned out to be a really good villain. Just her motivations and everything like that. She just played, in my opinion, I've seen so many androids on television, from Andromeda. Just if you don't know Andromeda, look it up. It had Kevin Sorbo in it after he played Hercules. It was a series that lasted for about 3 or 4 years, I think, like that. And there was an android on that. I love her. She played in Jason X. She played in so many horror movies and stuff like that. But this is just like the epitome of playing an android well. Playing something that doesn't have emotion, but trying to get that emotion. And I love the fact that she was trying to go beyond her programming, and the steps that she took to do that in order to become what she wanted to become, which was basically us, but more powerful. And to achieve that, and what she had to do that, I'm not going to explain in the whole series what happened, but she had a plan. She executed that plan, and she made it work. And it may have been, people may have thought it was a little bit convoluted, but no, I thought it was perfect. The drama for the whole season, like it led, and how she acted it out, that progression was just spot on. And like, so out of Ghost Rider, she would definitely be the second person on there. And especially at the end, when she really got the human emotions, she nailed it. Like, you felt for her. You're like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. This would happen if, like, a grown, in her mid-30s woman would suddenly become, Android would suddenly become a mid-30s woman. And how would she deal with love? How would she deal with being rejected? And it was just like, she did a great job of that. You're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, she would go nuts. And that's what happened. So, yeah, love her job. And the actress on that was Mallory Jensen. Just want to mention that, because I'm going to watch out for her more. I've seen her in other things, but this, she did a great job. Now we come to my third one, which is Mac. And Mac appeared on, I believe it was the second season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., along with Bobby and a lot of other people I'm not going to go into right now. But Mac was one of those guys who was just like, he's this great actor. And his character developed so much throughout the years. And this season, the person who plays him, Henry Simmons, had a lot to deal with. And it didn't start in the beginning. In the beginning, we just had Mac. He had a couple of things where he was replaced by an android and all these things. But when he was in the framework, when he was brought into that virtual reality, that's where you started to really care for him, because they gave him a daughter that he lost in the past that we didn't know exactly her history. And but we know that she had passed away. And to see him with his daughter, it touched you so much throughout the whole season. And I don't know how to explain this. You saw a side of him that you never saw before. You saw that father side, and how protective he was of her, to the point where he didn't want to leave the framework, knowing the fact that she's not even real. Just knowing the fact that he has a daughter again. And he sacrificed everything to stay in the framework, to stay with her, because he didn't want to go on his life without her again. And that was it just blew me away. I'm like, they're going to really do this? Are they going to not bring back Mac? Because Mac is such a good character. And it made me actually want to cry. And I actually did cry when he did lose her, because the way that he lost her and having Yo-Yo at his side, it was just heart-wrenching. And thank God they didn't linger on that scene too much, so that episode would have been really, really sad. But that scene just made you have a whole new perspective on Mac and the reason why he is the way he is. And that's why he's, he's number 3 on this. Patriot, I thought, was a good job, and he was the director Mace of this season. All I said, just watch it. The progression of what happened to him and how he went out too. They did a great job of making you feel for that character. And at first, when you thought it was a throwaway character, and then it becomes more significant as the season goes on. The framework itself, I will argue, some people have said online that, oh, it's just like their version of The Matrix. Can we get over that? Because The Matrix isn't the first sci-fi, movie, that had introduced that type of a thing. We've seen the virtual reality thing tons of times. It's that with The Matrix, we basically got a bunch of people wearing black Gucci outfits. and yes, I know how significant The Matrix first movie was. I wasn't a big fan when I was younger, because I saw right through it when I first saw it. I didn't know what the premise of The Matrix was, and my friends said, oh, you have to see it, you have to see it. And then I guessed what it was within like 5 minutes of the movie. I'm like, oh, great. Wonderful. But that's just me. I wasn't a big fan of The Matrix. I saw them all too, and they progressively got worse for me, and to the point where I'm like, God, now you're copying Superman with Neo flying to the thing? That just really got on my nerves. So saying that this was The Matrix, no. Just saying that it was a virtual reality world that was a little bit gritty. Yeah, that little gritty part did look a little bit like The Matrix, but hey, I'm not going to go there. They did a great job of fleshing out the reason why the framework existed, and the reason why Ada did it, in order to get what she wanted to get. And that part I don't want to spoil it for you. Please watch the season, and you'll see it all. The bad things, though. I got a list of the bad things here. It's not a big list. When they brought back everybody in the framework, they brought back everybody in the freaking framework from the past shows, who had died off or who no longer are there. They didn't bring back Bobby and her boy. They didn't bring back Blood. Bobby, I love Bobby, and I know fans like really love Bobby. I love when she premiered as Mockingbird, and I believe the second season. I was just like, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then I found out she was the one who actually originally played, because I kept looking at her face like, who is that? Who is that? Who originally played for the pilot of the Wonder Woman TV series, and which I'd recently watched, and I thought she did a good job of it. Although she was a little bit angry throughout the whole series, and that was kind of weird. And it wasn't Wonder Woman. Unfortunately, it wasn't Wonder Woman. It had nothing to do with mythology, and just how she acted was a little bit off. But I did like the concepts that they were trying to make for that Wonder Woman pilot episode. It would have been interesting if they actually did the series like that and see if it like lasts for a season, see what it would have developed into. But it didn't. It failed. It went, and then she got to play Bobby here on Bobby Mockingbird, who is a superhero here on Agents of Shield. And they didn't bring her back. I wish they brought her back. I don't know what she's doing right now, but I wish they brought her back out of all the people who were brought back in the framework. It would have been great to see her and him there. Because the relationship and just her character, that was one of the best things about that season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was Bobby and him. What else? The Darkhold book itself, I kind of mentioned it in the beginning of this video. I kind of didn't get it. The significance of the book, I'm like, it was kind of it wavered back and forth with what the reason why the book was there. And I understand, because I'm writing a thing about magic books and all that stuff like too. Magic, there's always a book in magic. Or darkness or something like that. There's always a book that houses that power. But the Darkhold is kind of like, for me, it was kind of, that was another kind of throwaway thing. I'm like, it was a good way to anchor that season and everything like that and get Ghost Rider in there, but it just didn't really have too much of a significance at the end. I'm like, I just don't get this. Why does this book exist anymore? And you can correct me down on the thing if I'm wrong and everything like that, if you think that I'm wrong, but I didn't like the concept of the book. I'm like, just get rid of it, get rid of it. And when Ghost Rider took it at the end and went and made a portal, love that. And also the reference with the Darkhold, I loved. I just want to say that he basically made references to other dimensions, which would be like what Doctor Strange finally introduced in the MCU. And obviously they don't want to make those things correlate and go together because they want to pretend that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exist, but I thought it was cool that they actually did that. They were referring to other dimensions, and we may get that now in the next season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We may get those other dimensions coming up, which would be kind of cool. We'll have it on TV and we get to see it, because in Doctor Strange, I thought Doctor Strange was an okay movie. I wasn't a big fan of it. I do know the character. Don't think that I don't know the character. I had plenty of comic books on him. I just wasn't a big fan of the movie itself. It felt like it was Iron Man, but it's Doctor Strange. Too many jokes. Yeah, but I do like the fact that it established that there are other universes, other dimensions, and everything like that. But I was, it's just, I guess it's kind of a thing going like, oh, MCU, you don't want us anymore, so we're going to do our own thing, like they did with the Patriot, because the Patriot was basically Captain America of the season, if you think about it. The power set, everything like that. He had a super soldier serum in him, a defective version that doesn't last that long, but still, he's basically the Captain America. So I'm glad that they're still trying to keep this show grounded in its own way. And I thought it was... I have it written down here. I thought it was kind of funny that they did actually put the promotion for the Inhumans, the TV spot for it, at the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when they don't want them to, they're not supposed to connect. Maybe they will do that now, but they're not supposed to connect. It's like, oh, no, this has nothing to do with the Inhumans in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because we want nothing to do with that crap, but we're going to put an advertisement at the end for the Inhumans TV show. It's just, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has ratings, and you gotta grab onto that, gotta say, but you don't want anything to do with it. That's funny. So all in all, both story arcs, like I said, all the story arcs throughout this season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought they did a great job with, and I hope that people visit this show again. If you dropped off after that first season, like I wanted to, but I try not to do that with comic book related things, I think that you should revisit it, because I think that you would really love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because they've done a fantastic job ever since season 1 ended. And this season is a prime example of that. And I can't wait for the next season, even though I wasn't a big fan of the Darkhold, and Ghost Rider has that Darkhold. I hope that they flesh that out more if they do bring it back. And I just can't wait for season 5. And I can't wait to see what it's going to bring. Hopefully it'll bring Bobby back. Bring Bobby back, please. Bobby. And that's it. As you know, I'm artist, writer, Michael S Garner. I do my own independent online comic book. called Visions of the New. You can find it at visionsofthenew.com if you want to check it out. You can get a downloaded version of there, a printed one, PDF version, whatever, all that stuff. And I'll do more reviews soon, and hopefully I'll see you next time. If you have any comments, please write them below. If you want to subscribe to my station to see more updates and everything like that on comic book news and comic book related TV shows and movies. I seem to do more TV shows because that seems to be more what I gravitate towards. But I do movies every once in a while too, and I will be doing Wonder Woman. Can't wait for that movie. So until next time, you have a good one.